So there's some horrendous footage coming out regarding this Manchester airport incident that has been shown to the jury, which has not previously been seen. I'll warn you in advance, some of it is distressing. Some viewers might find it distressing. You can skip forward or just look away for some of that footage, and I'll warn you when that comes up. And I'll say at the outset that I am not commenting on the trial itself, because I can't, because it is an ongoing criminal trial. And lots of people have asked me for my views and questions and things. I will come back to those when the trial is done. I'll be saying a lot more about it, both here on Black Belt Secrets. Please do subscribe here. There's a link to martial arts, which I'll come back to in a minute. And on my Off the Record channel, you'll find my personal views. So linked in the description below as well. But also we have MPs, a bit later in the video, second half of the video, we have MPs, and by whom I specifically refer to Lucy Powell, deleting tweets that were of videos of her in Parliament making statements about this incident, which I felt was premature at the time. I still think that. But nonetheless, that is what she said. So this is factual reporting here. She has deleted said tweet. I have the video because I do download and save some of these things. And it is what she said in Parliament. It is a matter of fact that she said this. So I'll share that with you in the second half of this video. So first of all, let's go to this footage here. Now, again, for some viewers who may find this somewhat distressing, if you do, you don't need to watch it. I will turn the volume down on it as well so it is not too loud. But this, again, without comment, this is what has been shown to the jury of one of the police officers, Lydia Ward, who I understand the jury's been told is heavily pregnant. So again, if you don't want to watch it, look away, skip forward. It is a minute and a half long. But for the rest of you, take a look at this.
Where's the nearest car? I'll go give me your keys. Where's your first aid kit? Ah, okay. One touch. Okay, you alright? Sit down for me. One touch 257. You alright? You alright? One touch 257. Can we get a paramedic? You okay? I'm here, alright? It's 5 deep breaths. Deep breaths, alright? You're fine. You're fine. We'll deal with it.
Okay, guys. Calm down. Calm down. Give me a look. He hasn't. Let me see.
You're fine.
You're alright. You're alright to bring it. Right, let's get you outside.
Let's just get you safe, come on.
So, let's get you outside.
So this footage has been shown to the jury, and there's been a number of comments on it. Like I said, I'm not commenting on the trial itself, but a lot of people have discussed this and made comments regarding police in general. So from a generic standpoint on martial arts, self-defense, being hit, being punched, being injured, and so on, I'd like to make a few comments about that. Again, generally and not in relation to this trial. Now, as Mike Tyson famously said, everybody has a plan until you're punched in the face. And this is absolutely true. As someone who has trained for well over 30 years, have been punched, kicked, thrown, kneed, elbowed countless times, certainly more times than I can remember, over the years, there is always that occasion where it might catch you off guard, it might catch you by surprise, and it might just phase you, make you dizzy, whatever. And that is from someone like myself who has trained for many, many years and who is used to being hit, used to fighting, used to being punched, used to being kicked, and taking that as part of sort of rough and tumble of martial arts and self-defense training. Personally, I think everybody should have some level of self-defense training. Now, the comments made regarding police, and dare I say it, some of the comments been made regarding women police officers, I have to tackle this head on, because to me, I have to say, in all my experience, it doesn't matter whether you're male or female, in the sense that men are just as likely in many circumstances, not all circumstances, but in many circumstances are just as likely to be phased, dizzy, disoriented, in shock, caught off guard, whatever you want to call it, by being hit, punched, kicked, and so on. It is not, in my view, entirely fair to say that this is because we hire women police officers or whatever. I don't think that's a fair comment to make. Do I think the police in general need better training? Yes, I do. But I also say that of our armed forces. As someone who has been involved in sessions teaching the military myself, I understand the need to improve that level of training across the spectrum for all forces that are public facing and that will come up against the public in situations like this, whereby they are being punched and you can quite clearly see she is injured from that. She's clearly bleeding from that. Again, not commenting on the trial, but for anybody that is punched and injured in this sense, it can catch anybody off guard. And just as a reminder of some of the other footage that has now been shown to the jury here, as you can see, there are lots of police officers here. But again, generally speaking, regardless of the number of officers, regardless of the training those officers have had, they can be caught off guard. And anyone can be caught off guard. And that is why I advocate self-defense training. And I firmly believe that everybody should have some level of self-defense training, because even having done many years of training, it still may not be sufficient. So what I will say is that it is easy to jump to conclusions. It is easy to speak too soon sometimes without knowing all of the facts, without having all of the information, etc., which is what I believe Lucy Powell did in Parliament making her speech, because obviously that was made before any of this additional footage has been released, because indeed this was gathered from body-worn cameras, other CCTV cameras, all of which has now been shown to the jury. But I'm going to come back to you in a moment and show you what she said, because as you can see from this page here, where somebody was quoting her post and said, another one, as in another post, that has aged badly. And this was quoting Lucy Powell and her previous tweet, which is now, as you can see, unavailable. If you click through to that post, it says this page doesn't exist. It appears that it's been deleted. So I'll be back with you with that video in just a moment. Don't go away. In other legal news, there is a massive story broken where there's a 10-week trial convicted 8 men after a huge investigation into stealing data. Officers went on to seize and analyze 4.5 million documents, 144,000 spreadsheets, 241,000 emails, 1.5 million images, and 83,000 other mixed multimedia files on a number of different crimes over several years. Now, what does this all have to do with you, and why am I telling you about this in the middle of a video? Well, this now means that your data might end up on the dark web somewhere. Because if it wasn't obvious, these men were collecting this information to sell it on to data brokers, marketers, or people that were trying to impersonate you. It's personal identity theft. Now, these end up on databases somewhere, part of the dark web, where they are bought and sold, and you need to be alert to that. So NordVPN, as a partner to my channel, will alert you to any of your data that is leaked onto the dark web somewhere. There is a panel on there that will flag up where your data is found on the dark web, so you can go and investigate it and try to get it removed. As well as providing you anonymity online and protecting you from malicious websites, malicious downloads, this is often an overlooked feature of NordVPN to scour the dark web for your personal data. And after a case like this, it's absolutely worth it. And of course, as a partner to my channel here, I get you a great discount, which is 4 months extra free using the code BlackBeltSecrets at the link in the description below. It's nordvpn.com/blackbeltsecrets. Make sure the code's applied. And of course, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee, but for less than the price of a cup of coffee, it is absolutely worth it to find out if your information is out there on the dark web somewhere and someone's going to impersonate you and take out loans in your name. Sign up, check it out, and thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. So back to Lucy Powell's now deleted tweet from the 25th of July 2024. And again, not commenting on the case. This is factual reporting that this tweet was posted. This post was posted by Lucy Powell on the 25th of July last year. I understand before the additional footage was released. As she spoke in Parliament about it, her post said as follows: "I want to address the truly shocking footage of an incident at Manchester Airport. Watch below my full statement." And that has now been deleted, but I do have the video. So again, this is what she said in Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, I also want to address the truly shocking footage of an incident at Manchester Airport we've seen. It's right that Greater Manchester Police has referred itself to the Independent Office for Police Conduct, given the wide concern of this issue. Greater Manchester Police has said that the officer involved has been immediately suspended from all duties, and a referral has now been made to the Independent Office for Police Conduct. I will make sure that the Home Secretary has heard his question today and is in touch with him at the earliest opportunity to discuss it further.
And just for completeness, this is the IOPC, the Independent Office for Police Conduct, on their statement on the investigation into the use of police arrests at Manchester Airport in that incident on the 23rd of July. They say, "We are aware of the CPS decision to take no further action against the police officers involved in a series of arrests at Manchester Airport on the 23rd of July. You'll remember from their previous update, they said they obtained the body-worn video footage from the officers in attendance and reviewed substantial CCTV, etc. And their statement here says, "Our independent investigation into the use of force by police officers on 6 people during the incident continues and is nearing completion. Throughout the investigation, during which 2 officers were interviewed under criminal caution and in relation to alleged assaults during the incident on the 23rd of July, we shared relevant evidence with the Crown Prosecution Service as it became available to assist with making a swift decision in this case. On Monday, the 16th of December, which this 20th of December, I believe, is the latest update. I haven't found one since then. We shared the final such piece of evidence with the CPS to consider potential charges. We will now work to conclude a few remaining lines of inquiry and work as quickly as possible. At that point, we'll decide whether anyone serving with GMP should face disciplinary proceedings, and we'll reach a decision on a series of complaints raised by 6 members of the public in relation to the incident. It was important for events at Manchester Airport on the 23rd of July to be carefully investigated. The IOPC and GMP investigators are separate and with different remits, but between them ensure there is an appropriate level of scrutiny of these matters." So again, just to reiterate, I think a lot of people underestimate the shock factor of being punched or kicked or elbowed, especially in the face, especially on the nose, especially if you lose blood. It really is a shocking experience for almost everybody, but certainly if you've not been punched or kicked before. And if you lose blood, obviously there is a shock element to the body. You tend to hyperventilate, as you could quite clearly see in that video there, and doing so makes you dizzy, makes your legs weak, and so on. And obviously heart rate, adrenaline, all of these things. You go into different shock phases of the body, and generally speaking, that is an enormous impact on anybody, all of which can be sparked by being hit like that. And the same is true, in my view, regardless of your size, regardless male or female. I've seen huge, bulky, strong men reduced to a quivering mess because they've been hit unexpectedly. So I think a lot of people will underestimate that. So I wanted to share that with you. I have my learned friend Alan Robert Shaw to thank for the suggestion. I decided to do that on Black Belt Secrets here because this was originally my martial arts channel. So I'll be coming back to dissect a lot more about that. I've got a few more things I want to talk about martial arts and the general principles, life principles that martial arts has taught and instilled in me over many years. But I will say, let me know what you think in the comments, but generally, please, and not specifically about the trial, bearing in mind the rules for contempt of court. So thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to Black Belt Secrets here, and I'll see you next time.